Yo, yo. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yo, what's good with you boys? This is a random video, but I ran across some information just like about 2K. That I thought a lot of people want to know. It's something that if you play 2K for a long time, you probably dealt with, like when it comes to connection issues, lag spikes, and anything that has to do with just the overall like gameplay aspect of 2K. And if you're somebody like me, I always wonder like, yo, why when I hop on 2K, like I run into issues that I just don't run into with any other game, like whether it's Call of Duty or like any online game. You just like most of them are pretty, especially the AAA titles. Most of them are pretty good online. Like every once in a while is an issue, but like as far as connectivity and lag spikes and just stutters and all those different types of things, that doesn't happen with a lot of other online multiplayer games. So I was on ChatGPT just trying to fix some connectivity issues that I had with my PS5. Like every once in a while, like I would get some error code that would like, literally make me exit the game. It would say Ethernet LAN Cable Disconnected, and then it would connect again. But obviously, once you lose connection in 2K online, you can't just hop back in the game like some other games. No, once you out, you off. That's a loss on your record. Like everybody, if you play 2K, you know how annoying that is, bro. Especially if you get on a good team, you've been waiting on random squads, and you finally get a good team, y'all cooking up, and then you get lagged out. It's not even a lag out. It's just like it just says my Ethernet cable disconnected, and then it'll just reconnect, and then I have to keep playing. And it usually only happens when my PS5 gets hot, but it doesn't happen on any other game. I could play any other game for hours, and it just doesn't happen. So I know it has something to do with 2K. I just didn't know how to pinpoint it, and I was on ChatGPT trying to figure it out, and I actually learned a lot about why 2K has these issues specifically, and it kind of helped me understand like why this has been a consistent issue for years. Like I've been playing 2K for a long time. If you look at my page, you see I've been playing 2K. I've been uploading 2K at least since 2K17. Not consistently. But I'm just saying, like I had been playing it for even longer than I ever uploaded something. So I've been playing it for a long time. So I've been dealing with the online issues for a long time, which has been something that comes with it. So let's just look though. I'll read to you what I had wrote to 2K. I'll kind of summarize it, and then I'll read to you what they wrote back, so you can kind of see what are the reasons that 2K has these issues, and if it's even something that they can fix, or if they can't. I said to ChatGPT, I said, let's talk about 2K and the internet connection and the issues I have with playing 2K25. Makes me think about why is it that 2K always has these connection issues that don't exist in any other major AAA titles like Call of Duty or any other games that are primarily played online. They don't have these kind of connection issues. They're actually usually pretty good. They never have issues. That's how good they are. But you would think a big studio like Take-Two Interactive, 2K Studios would be able to have the same type of quality. If y'all don't know, Take-Two Interactive is like the overall umbrella company where 2K is under. I don't know if the other titles actually have connection issues, but I would imagine they all use similar servers. Then I said, but I have heard over the years that they use something about. I have heard over the years that something about the servers they use, or the location and the type of servers, is pretty bad, and always leaves room for so many errors that 2K players experience. Could you maybe elaborate on that? Any type of articles or information that you can find that will paint a good picture to me why they don't have a good connection and stability as other games. So ChatGPT did a little research. The new version of ChatGPT got agent mode, and they can pretty much research topics for you and using articles and shit like that. It's really good, but it's on the paid version, so I don't expect most people to have it. So ChatGPT says, so here's the gist of it. NBA 2K tends to run into these connection issues more frequently because of how its servers and netcode are set up. In a nutshell, they have centralized servers. Unlike some other big multiplayer games like Call of Duty, which often use a mix of peer-to-peer connections or robust dedicated servers, NBA 2K relies heavily on centralized servers that handle a lot of player interactions. This can introduce more latency and synchronization problems, especially in modes like the rec or the city, where lots of players interact in a shared space. So that's one thing. Then we have the netcode complexity. NBA 2K's netcode has a reputation for not handling network inconsistencies as smoothly as some other titles. Essentially, even if your own connection is good, if the server or other players have issues, it can create instability that's more noticeable. And then the third one would be the server locations and quality. This is the one I heard about, I think through one of Agent's videos like some years back. There have been ongoing community discussions that 2K server infrastructure just isn't as robust or well distributed as other major AAA titles. This can lead to more frequent disconnects, lag spikes, and those frustrating LAN cable disconnected messages. So it says, so in short, it's not really that 2K is intentionally doing anything worse. It's more that their server approach and netcode haven't been as optimized or as beefed up as some of the major competitive shooters. It's a known issue in the 2K community, and that's likely why you're feeling it more than other games. Some of the stuff I did know, but it's also good to know like all the back end issues that are like specifically what's causing those issues. None of this really matters to us as players. We're like, all right, like if we know this exists, like fix it. Like why not fix it? So that's what I asked them next, because I wanted to see like, all right, if we all know this, we got a simple ChatGPT can figure this out. Like obviously the investors or people that are on the board of 2K and Take-Two Interactive know this when they see the reports, but like there has to be a reason why they haven't fixed it. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously if you fix it, it's gonna cause more traction for your game. It's gonna be better for your base. So I had asked if it's a known issue. I just can't imagine why a company that would want more people playing the game and less bad reviews and more people online wouldn't want to upgrade or optimize that. Is it, you think, the only reason would be because of finance, the financial cost of optimizing, or is it there are many obstacles that I can't think of because I'm not in the industry? ChatGPT says, that's a totally reasonable question to ask. You think, why wouldn't they just fix it if it's a known pain point? And there's definitely more to it than just money. A few reasons beyond just cost. So these 4 reasons were really interesting to me, and it kind of puts it in a nutshell why this hasn't changed over the years and why it may not change. And a lot of people, if you know about 2K, and how they release a game every year, a lot of this stuff will make sense. So the first one was the legacy coding infrastructure. NBA 2K has been around for years, and each new version builds on older systems. Sometimes the server architecture or netcode they started with isn't as easy to overhaul without basically rebuilding a lot of the underlying tech. That's a big, complex job that might not fit into their annual release cycle easily. Now that one caught my attention because we always talk about how they can't do so much for the next game that's coming out because they have to release a game every year. Most game titles don't release a new game every year. It's every couple of years, or sometimes it's a few years. Like a game like GTA, obviously we know how long those take, but 2K obviously doesn't need that much, like 3 years in between games. But the annual cycle, from reading this, does impede or stop them from being able to invest that time and effort and money into really improving the infrastructure, because they have to put a big portion of their funds and money and time and manpower into making that next game. And as we know, they start making 2K like, I imagine 2 or 3 months after the game is fully released, because that's when Mike Wang and everybody on 2K stops responding to people about the new game they just released, and that lets me know, okay, they're working on the next game. The second one is annual release cycle pressure, kind of what I was just talking about. Sports games like 2K come out every year, and that means a lot of the development time is spent on new features, rosters, and gameplay changes. Upgrading server infrastructure in a major way might be a multi-year project that doesn't fit neatly into that yearly cycle. So that's just what I was talking about. Our player base size versus other titles. While 2K is popular, it's not necessarily on the same scale as something like Call of Duty or Fortnite in terms of global player count. For those massive titles, it's easier to justify massive infrastructure investments. For 2K, they might be weighing the cost benefit and choosing incremental improvements instead. That makes sense. Like 2K, obviously, obviously, 2K is not as big. If you go on Twitch or any platform you go on, you'll notice that 2K is not as big as any of these other games as far as the following. So that makes sense. You're not going to make as much revenue. You're not going to have as much to invest. Even some of these yearly games like Call of Duty, they still just have so much more money to invest because it's so much bigger. And Fortnite is the model, as far as a game that just has seasons and they update as the game goes on, without having to release a new game every year. So that makes a lot of sense. And then the very last one was it focuses on other features. Sometimes the priority goes to adding new gameplay modes, graphic updates, or microtransaction systems. Big on the microtransaction systems, y'all know, rather than a big network overhaul. They might be confident that the majority of players will still play even if there are some connection issues. Even ChatGPT knows that no matter what, there's no other basketball game. So 2K knows, most people are gonna keep playing the game no matter what we do. We can make the same game next year, add just a little bit. People are gonna buy this game. People gonna play it. There's no other basketball game that's even close. And for another game to get as big as 2K, the budget would need to be crazy. Like Live would probably be the only company that might be able to compete. But as we see, they haven't come up with a game in that long. I just think it's hard to compete with 2K, bro. It really is. So it says, it's a mix of financial considerations, technical debt, and prioritization. It's not just one thing, but a combination of factors that can make it tricky for them to just flip a switch and fix it all at once. So that when I read that gave me like a lot of insight on why we've been seeing the same issues over years and why they just haven't fixed it. Because you can get into a mode, a lot of people in the community, we get into a mode where we're just complaining about how bad this is and why they don't do this or why they don't update that and this and that. And we're still gonna complain, but this kind of at least gives us a little bit of relief to understand that, it don't really make sense to complain because what they got going on is a little bit deeper than them just not willingly want to fix it, or them just like we think at times, they just ignoring. They notice an issue, they ignore it, and maybe they are to some extent, but also it's just like all the undertaking that has to go behind them. Like updating the game, making a game every year, and then you want them to improve the infrastructure, which, as they said in here, would take years. It's just not really something that I see happening, so we just really gonna have to make do with 2K. I don't hate the game. I still fuck with 2K. I love basketball, and 2K is always gonna be something that I play until I'm like fucking 70 years old. As long as I can, bro. So. So let me know what y'all think. I think I prefer 2K to not release a game every year. Try whatever they gotta do to get like a Fortnite type of style release. Like if they just stop releasing a game and say, hey, listen, this next game is coming out, 2K26, it's gonna be the last game we release before we start moving to a new model where it's free to play, but we'll have seasons and things like that. Like if I would be open to that, like I will be okay. Like if it means that we have to play the same game for like a year or two with like updates, maybe not the gameplay so much, but like animations that still update and things like that. Because they can still add new animations to the game. I think if they could do that, just add new animations, but don't change like a lot of things so they can start working on fixing the server infrastructure. If it takes like 2-3 years, but it means that when it's done, we have great connection. We can have a seasons format like Fortnite, or like other games that are coming out. Like if they were to do that, and which would mean they would no longer need to release a new game every year, I think everybody would be willing to wait 2-3 years. I mean, shit, I don't know. Y'all let me know. Would y'all be open to that? Like, if 2K said, listen, we want to just fix our infrastructure for 3 years so that we can make sure you guys can find more games, connection is better, just overall improvement. You just wouldn't get a new game every year. I think everybody would be open to not spending an extra fucking $100 every year, $70 plus. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. Yeah, I just wanted to drop that for everybody else. I thought it was really insightful. So yeah, feel free to read through it if y'all want to just scroll or whatever the case is. Or yeah, that was pretty much it. Just a real short video, nothing too crazy. Just wanted to drop some knowledge to y'all. So I appreciate y'all taking some time to step out and listen to this. And then yeah, I'll get back at y'all in the next video. Persh.